It's just a shame for all the Western countries that leave Afghanistan like that. I can't believe it. And they're talking about 20,000 people. We have 36 million people there. Mm-hmm. They have nothing to eat. In 2-3 months, they won't have anything to eat. All the borders are closed. Mm-hmm. What they're going to do?
David Hertel, we're back talking about Afghanistan. That was caller Sabir this morning, who is here in Montreal, but from Afghanistan. Very emotional testimonial about the situation and what needs to be done. There's breaking news, several news outlets reporting. I'm taking this from the New York Times website. An explosion outside the Kabul airport has left an unconfirmed number of casualties. The Pentagon said hours after warnings of a security threat. Canada has now stopped all evacuations. The last military plane, the last Canadian military plane flew out of Kabul this morning, marking officially the end of Canada's mission in Afghanistan. The government recognizes that Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and their families were left behind. Let's hear more on the situation on the ground, as we did last week, from a veteran, a Canadian veteran, a former soldier based now in Montreal who has connection with Afghan interpreters. Dave Morrow joins us. Dave, thank you for joining us again this morning.
Thanks for inviting me.
So you're seeing the situation, a lot of passionate callers, texters this morning on CJD 800 showing dismay, disappointment at the situation. First of all, what are you hearing from your contacts on the ground over there in Afghanistan?
The sheer disappointment is almost unbearable. These are individuals that had faith in our government, that saw planes coming, that did every last bit of paperwork, every hoop that they had to jump through, they did. And at the 11th hour, they were left with nothing. They got to see Canadian troops. Canadian troops did nothing. Nobody let them in the gates. And now God knows what their fate is.
So are you telling me, I just want to understand here, you're telling me that from the sources you have on the ground that Afghans got to the airport, were in contact with Canadian personnel, and just were turned away, we just couldn't get on planes?
So let me put this in context.
Yes.
There's a woman, her name's Sophia. Her husband was already killed by the Taliban. She has 2 young babies. She waded through human refuse, a river of it, to get to the wall that is right outside the Kabul airport. She saw Canadian troops. She had her paperwork done. She begged for them to bring her and her children to safety, and they ignored her. Now, this sounds damning for the Canadian Armed Forces. I want to make it perfectly clear. Those soldiers were following orders. They were told not to help. So therefore, the blame lies on the leadership for not allowing them to do their job. And unfortunately, the last images that Canada is going to have of troops on the ground is going to be of Canadian soldiers ignoring parents like Sophia, begging to save herself and her children's lives. And that image, and just I feel sorry for those soldiers as well, because we've experienced that. My friends have experienced that in Bosnia, not being able to do something when something is going wrong. It's without words. This isn't the Canada I grew up in. And these images are shameful, and I feel sorry for those soldiers because I can only imagine what they're going through not being able to help.
Speaking with Dave Morrow, a Canadian Armed Forces veteran, a former soldier who served in Afghanistan, now based in Montreal, who is involved with Afghan interpreters. Dave, why are we stopping operations now? The U.S. has at least committed to stay until August 31st, and I understand U.S. operations are ongoing. Why are we stopping now for Canadian operations?
I just don't know. I don't know why we're playing into the Taliban's hands. I don't know why the Americans are not pushing back their deadline. These are all questions that people at much higher places of government need to answer, and we don't have an answer. And we essentially, snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. And this is something that I think all Canadians need to understand, is that we had the chance to do this. And the talking points are going to be, well, the Taliban imposed this on us. They're the ones to blame. Mm-hmm. And that is not the case whatsoever. Justin Trudeau knew as of June 1st that this was a humanitarian crisis, because we helped craft a letter that was sent to him personally. And even before that, years before that, this was a slow walk to a humanitarian crisis. And the Liberal government and Justin Trudeau did zero to be proactive. And therefore, we're left with a haphazard response. And that has left thousands of our allies to suffer and languish now under the control of the Taliban.
How do you react when you hear a federal cabinet minister refer to the Taliban as our brothers? I just have to compose myself a little bit here, because Take your time, Dave.
When I heard it yesterday, I thought fake news. I said, no, this can't actually be somebody in our government referring to the most vile organization, the organization that I had to put my life on the line to fight, that killed Canadian Armed Forces members, that actively terrorized their own people and put children into sex slavery and cut off the arms and torture men and women alike with no remorse. To use the term brother, I don't have the vocabulary to describe the amount of disappointment and embarrassment from a member of our government to use that in a official communications with our country. And every veteran I know shares the exact same response right now. And I think Canadians need to wake up to the fact that our government is no longer reasonably expected to govern well, and we need to make a change. And these series of missteps are no longer just missteps. This is clearly the norm, and we can't accept this as Canadians anymore.
Dave, I'll let you go on this. Is there any type of hope we can find another way to get these people out, or is this it? Do we just need to accept defeat here?
Well, as a former infantry officer, I don't accept defeat. Pulling back, recalibrating, re-aiming, and re-engaging, that's what we do best.
Yes.
And there is slim possibilities now of getting individuals out of Afghanistan to safety, but it's going to require a monumental effort from, again, private citizens like we've been doing from the start, that are going to have to create lines of communication, safe houses, and try to get them out to a third country and get them to safety there so that we can get them to Canada. But that effort is going to require a tremendous amount of funding, and the only fund that we have that is able to do this is the Veteran Transition Network's Afghan Fund. And so I encourage all Canadians to find that. And the easiest way to find is if you go on Facebook and type in Ironman Dave 39. I'll be raising money for that particular fund this Saturday to help ground operations continue. And all the information will be on that Facebook page.
Dave Morrow, sir, I want to thank you for your service, and I want to thank you for all your efforts and your continued efforts, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Dave Morrow is a veteran of the Canadian Armed Forces who served in Afghanistan, a former soldier, now based in Montreal, who's involved with Afghan interpreters.